Hi there. Do you know, we haven't had the brass yet this month, and I thought it was about time we did. And as you can imagine, it started relatively quiet and gradually became quite noisy, all before 8 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, where did I get the idea from? And it was right at the beginning of the month, and I decided that we hadn't used the scrubbing strings for a long time, so I've brought that back, and then that made me think of I love the French horn, and a French horn section playing together in unison with huge leaps, and I just think that sounds absolutely amazing. Has anyone heard Richard Strauss Alpine Symphony? This is nothing like that, but it'd be interesting to see what you think. I think it has an epic feel to it, but we'll just go through the ideas and how we got there, and then you can hear today's. But so, how did we start? And you may well remember this, but it was that strings. And so we then, the next day, we added some other bits around, and we increased the energy. And I called that a new energy. Actually, quite appropriate today. There was a story on the news about Microsoft deciding to be carbon negative by 2030. And I think that's what a fantastic ambition, and in fact an inspirational ambition to have. So well done, Microsoft. I've even retweeted it and congratulated you, so well done. So this was a new energy. So that was the spaceship flying around, and this time we doubled it up, and that's where I talk about the scrubbing strings going digga 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 dum. So here we go. This was the third. I don't know if you'll recall, but actually what I do with that is I gradually build it up and layer the strings on top of each other, so that it all is a huge sort of, well, there's a massive growth in volume and energy as the minute progresses. So what did I do this morning? I found that string section, and I transposed it so that it was in the same key as that we're in at the moment. And then I just thought, actually, at the beginning of the month we have that dum bom bee bum bum bum, and it's the seventh in the second violins, and I thought, actually, I quite like that, the seventh, and so I decided to introduce, and I was playing around, and we got a horn melody. It's relatively quiet to start with, but the second half, the horns are beltissimo. Well, not too loud, but loud enough. And then we've got the trombones playing chords with rhythms, and then the trumpets triple tonguing as well. Anyway, let me know what you think, because it's going to be this is quite an interesting one. And so this one I called a dramatic turn. You know, considering I only heard that tune this morning for the first time, it's because it hadn't existed beforehand. that's certainly grown on me, and it's one of those earworms that you can find yourself singing. So what do you think? What do you think? It's amazing, isn't it? How you can go through various twists and turns and end up with something. And I quite like that melody, and there's a lot you could do. At the moment, the wind aren't playing. So I'd quite like to, over the next few days, it'd be interesting to see if I can add some runs in the strings, sort of in the woodwind, possibly doubling strings, but try and thicken it out a bit and try and create as much energy as possible. The cymbals are a little bit weak, but we'll see what we can do about that as well. Anyway, let me know what you think, and let's see where it takes us tomorrow. Cheers.